Hey everybody, it's Paige Evans. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a new process video to share with you showing how to create what I like to call a penny tile background. It's dimensional circles, and I first saw this idea from Giorgia Rossini, her Instagram, and so I took this idea of layered circles and created this layout. So I will tag her in the comments below. Be sure to give her a follow. I am using paper 21 from my Go the Scenic Route collection with American Crafts and my circles background. I've uploaded it into Silhouette Studio. I'm changing it to a ratchet blade. That's the blade that I prefer. A speed of 5, the blade depth is set to 3, and then I'll go ahead and click send once I've loaded that paper on the mat into the machine. It takes about 8 minutes for the Cameo to cut out all of these circles. It's a 14 by 14 grid design of circles. You could enlarge them, you could make them even smaller if you want to, but this way I get to cut out a whole bunch of circles in all of the colors. This is one of my favorite papers from Go the Scenic Route because it has all of these beautiful bright colors. I used a fairly new mat, so it's pretty sticky, and so I'm carefully peeling off the paper from the background, and you want to save this background paper. Originally, I wasn't going to, I was just going to recycle it, but then it became a great way to put the circles all in place together. I was trying to decide which background to use, a light solid purple cardstock or another piece of the same exact paper that I just cut all of these circles out of. And before, I didn't even test the purple cardstock to see if I liked it better. I just had this idea of doing this very textural background, and so I just went with this idea. So I started peeling the circles off one by one and distressing the edges with a fine-tipped pair of scissors. You could use your fingernails, you could use an official distressing tool, and then to help put the placement of the circles in the exact same way, I trimmed off the barcode strip from my same background paper, and then I grabbed the outer piece, or the solid piece that I had just cut out all of the circles from, placed it on top, and then secured it with washi tape. And this way, I'll be able to place the circles in the exact same spot to create the perfect texture. So the exact same color, the exact same circle is going into the same spot. And then at the very end, I'll peel it off to reveal the textured background. So I'm going ahead and adding a foam square on the back of every circle and placing it inside its coordinating spot of the pattern paper. I'm even trying to align the same pattern, so each circle kind of has some texture in it, different colors, and I'm trying to place it in the exact same position as the original pattern paper. So again, peeling a circle off of the sticky mat, distressing the edges with a fine-tipped pair of scissors, adding a foam square on the back, and then placing it onto the background. And it took a good 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours to fill up the entire background. And so I kind of streamlined it a little bit. I decided to work on rows of circles at the same time. So here, this very last bottom row of circles, I peeled them all off with a palette knife, placed them in order in a line, distressed all of the edges, and then flipped them upside down, keeping them in the same order, and then grabbed one at a time, put a foam square on the back, and put them back in place on the background. I love projects like this where you're just using your hands, creating artwork. This is what I love about scrapbooking. So now I'm gently peeling off the top pattern paper, revealing the penny tile or circles background. So here you can see all of the texture created from the foam squares and distressing of the edges. and it literally pops off the background, creates a really cool, distressed, layered, fun background. So I'm using a photo of Jane from her first day of school and coming in with layers. So these are all from the ephemera die cuts, and they'll just peek through. So you get some fun icons and florals, doilies. There's even blue foiling details on some of these tag die cuts. And I'm not gluing anything down yet. I just want to make sure that I like the direction this is going in my mind's eye. From these puffy thickers, I love the title Adventure Awaits because it's her first day of school, so we know there's going to be a lot of adventures in this school year. To help draw the eye to the photo cluster, I want to add some white acrylic paint splashes underneath where the photo is going. So I'm carefully taking off the entire layer. Again, nothing is glued down. And then I'm using a toothbrush. This is a toothbrush that I keep in my jar of brushes, so it's not one that I use to brush my teeth. I just love the fine mist that it creates. So I'm centering it on where the photo is going to go and then splashing it into a finer mist on the outskirts. And then I layered that Adventure Awaits title on an ephemera die cut so that it stands out more. Instead of placing it on the photo, it was kind of getting lost. So by placing it on this white journaling spot, you can actually read the title. I was having a hard time figuring out the placement of where I wanted everything to go. I was just moving it around and nothing was quite working. And so I took a pause and decided to write my journaling on this journaling spot, which overlaps the white space of the photo, just journaling about how this is going to be an interesting school year like we've never had before. And then I decided, well, I have 3 photos total from this photo shoot, and I grabbed one more, and I like how it's going, how this is looking, having 2 photos and stretching the photos and embellishments and the title all across it's off center. So I tucked in a few more journaling spots, a few more tags, even grabbing another floral die cut, and it peeks out from underneath. I've added liquid adhesive on the back of the entire photo cluster, and then adding a dot of glue on the back of the butterfly so that the wings can bend up to create dimension. I'm just amazed how the colors of that butterfly match perfectly with my daughter's outfit. Since they're school-themed photos, I'm grabbing a globe and a pen and tucking them under and on top of the title. And then Jane loves birds. Even to this day, she's been obsessed with birds since she could walk. So I'll tuck a little bird up under the top left corner to pay homage to her love of birds. And that, my friends, is the finished layout. I hope you're inspired to create this penny tile background or this layered circles background. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you again soon.